You guys kind of like to ride that momentum and play this weekend?
I think one of the biggest things we've improved on as a team is I think we're going to come out every game and play like that. And now that we see what we can do, we see that we can compete with the best, and we really know it, and we have it on film. I think that's the standard now. That's what we have to play like. Coach said now we're not going to sneak up on anybody, no matter who we play. They're going to be expecting our best game, and we got to expect their best game as well.
After kind of the first taste of that standard, would you like to go out and prove it again this weekend right away, or after an emotionally driven game, is it good to have a weekend to kind of look at some things and prepare for an opponent for 2 weeks maybe?
Bye week, it really doesn't matter to me. I don't think anybody really matters to anybody. We're ready to play whenever. Whatever's on our schedule, we got a bye week. We got a bye week. It doesn't matter to me. I know it doesn't matter to a lot of the guys on the defensive line. We're ready to play whenever. I don't really think that's a factor for any of us.
What did you guys work on today in practice mostly? Is it more just about getting the fundamentals down, or did you guys start prepping for South Carolina?
Coach. You guys probably heard him over the microphone saying back to the basics, stuff like that. Just really perfecting our technique, stuff like that. I think we're going to get more of a South Carolina look tomorrow. And I know the D-line, we were in there studying South Carolina's film. It's not like just because we weren't repping it out there doesn't mean we're not getting ready for them. We'll be ready for those guys.
Kind of right in the thick of it, right in the middle of the season, so to speak. Is it nice to have a bye week at this point to go to take a breather and just sort of, I know you guys aren't relaxing, but you don't have to get banged up on Saturday. Is it nice to get away from it for a little bit?
He kind of asked the same question. For our bodies, I think it's nice, but mentally, I don't really think it has an effect on any of us. We're ready to play whenever whenever they tell us to play, whatever the schedule is. Bye week, I know it doesn't affect me. I'm preparing for this week like South Carolina Saturday, so it's no different.
I wanted to ask you about your role on the punt team.
Oh yeah.
How did that evolve?
Coach Jones, he was I think one of the first days he came in, he said, if you're one of the punt shields, you're one of the toughest guys on the team. And so when I heard I was going to have a shot to be a punt shield, that was a compliment to me that I took as a compliment. It's a tough job letting a guy run 7 yards and smack you in the face, but I love it. I wouldn't trade it. I'd love being on the field. Any opportunity I get, if he told me to return kicks, I'd do it. It really doesn't matter to me.
Did they seek you out to do that, or did you volunteer, or how did
I just saw it on the depth chart one of the first days in the spring, and kind of evolved from that. And I started as like one of the right shields, and then the PP making the calls, and I just had something new for me to learn because I never played a lot of special teams in high school. So, but I love it.
And the punt coverage was so good. The punting and the punt coverage was so good Saturday. It's pretty much flawless, it looked like.
Yeah. We got a lot of great athletes on our punt team. And JR and Mike, they're picture perfect on the snap and the kick placement's great, and everybody, Sap, all the guys, that are on our defense, and mostly, on the punt team, they really get down on the ball, and they don't let the guy breathe. So they do a great job. That has nothing to do with me or any of the shields. We're always the last ones down there. It's those guys who make the plays.
How many snaps you get?
I'm worried about that because in the first, I think it was the second quarter on that fourth down when they ended up converting it. I think that was one of the loudest points of the stadium, and I was like, oh, I hope this stays like this the rest of the game because it really helps our team's energy, and that really makes a difference.
Now, going forward, you got a week off, and then you're back for another big SEC game. Do you think that can be reproduced, that energy in the stadium from the fans, the guys on the sideline?
Oh yeah, I believe that's part of everybody's. It's a group effort. That's the fans, that's the coaches, that's the players. It's all of our jobs to do that, and I expect it to be just as crazy for South Carolina as it was for Georgia, because I think it's just as big of a game. It's an SEC game, and we're going to give them all we got, and I know I'm going to, and I know every guy in the D-line will. So, if the fans give us all we got, then I think it's going to be another great atmosphere, just like it was Saturday night.
Thanks, Dan.
Yeah.
How's the season going?